Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things and space-age tech that's now somehow in your backyard. Today's question comes from one of our brilliant viewers, Alexander DNP Miller _81. Thanks for the suggestion, Alexander. You asked, how does Starlink work? If you've ever been in the middle of nowhere, like a desert, a mountaintop, or your in-laws' house, and suddenly had lightning-fast internet, you probably thought, witchcraft. But no, it's just Starlink, or maybe a little Elon Musk magic. Today, we're peeling back the layers of this space-based internet wonder. How it works, why it works, and how thousands of tiny satellites are now helping rural gamers finally get headshots in Call of Duty. So grab your snacks, point your antennas skyward, and let's beam into the world of Starlink right here on Explaining Everything. Let's start with a basic concept. Starlink is satellite internet. But unlike the old school kind that felt slower than sending a carrier pigeon with a USB stick, Starlink is fast, like streaming Netflix on a tractor in the middle of a cornfield. Fast. Traditional satellite internet uses just a few big satellites way up in geostationary orbit, about 35,000 kilometers or 22,000 miles above Earth. That's very far. So, when you click something, it takes a while for the signal to say, "Hey, can I see that YouTube video?" And then come back with, "Sure, here it is," with 3 minutes of buffering. Starlink, it said, let's flip the whole thing. Instead of a few big satellites up high, Starlink uses thousands of small satellites in low Earth orbit, around 550 kilometers or 342 miles above the ground. That's like moving from sending messages by hot air balloon to using carrier drones that zip by your head. Less distance equals less lag equals happier humans. Starlink satellites form what's called a constellation. And no, they're not shaped like Orion's belt or the Big Dipper. They're more like the Wi-Fi version of a swarm of bees, only helpful and much less terrifying. Each Starlink satellite talks to nearby satellites using lasers. Yes, lasers. And to the ground using high-frequency radio waves. Think of it as a game of high-tech telephone, except the message goes from your house to a satellite, then jumps from satellite to satellite in space, then back down to some faraway server on Earth, and finally brings you your cat video. You don't even have to be near a big city or a cell tower. If you have a clear view of the sky and a Starlink dish, you're good to go. It's like having a space-age satellite buddy perched on your roof. Let's talk about that cute, pizza-sized UFO dish that comes with your Starlink kit. Officially, it's called a user terminal, but we like to call it Dishy McFlatface, which, by the way, is what SpaceX nicknamed it. Yes, seriously. This dish isn't your average piece of plastic. It's packed with electronics that can electronically steer its beam. No motors, no spinning parts, just pure sci-fi wizardry. It tracks Starlink satellites zooming overhead and keeps a lock on the best one to talk to at any given moment. It's like a super-fast speed data that never settles, always looking for a better connection. Literally. And once it finds one, boom! You've got high-speed internet in places your phone signal fears to tread. Now you might be wondering, how fast is it? Well, depending on where you are and how many satellites are overhead, you can get speeds anywhere from 50 megabytes per second to over 250 megabytes per second. That's enough to stream 4K videos, play games, do Zoom calls with your boss, and download an entire season of your favorite show before your coffee gets cold. And latency? We're talking 20 to 40 milliseconds. For comparison, that's good enough to play online games without yelling "lag" at your router. Sure, if there's a blizzard, a hurricane, or a particularly angry squirrel sitting on your dish, it might slow down a bit. But honestly, it still beats 1998 dial-up by 1,000 miles. And yes, also by thousands of miles. Literally. As of now, Starlink has launched over 6,000 satellites, with thousands more planned. It's like Pokemon, but instead of catching them all, Elon Musk is launching them all. Each launch can send up 20 to 60 satellites at once, riding into orbit on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket like it's just another Tuesday. Eventually, Starlink wants to have around 12,000 satellites up there, and potentially as many as 42,000. At that point, the sky will be full of tiny Wi-Fi fairies zipping around, making sure you can stream cat videos even at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Starlink satellites even deorbit themselves at the end of their lifespan. That means they fall out of the sky and burn up in the atmosphere rather than becoming space junk. Eco-friendly Wi-Fi from space? Kinda cool. Oh, and those long glowing lines you sometimes see in the night sky? That's Starlink satellites in a line formation after launch, looking like a cosmic conga line. You're not being invaded. Yet. So, to sum it up, Starlink is Wi-Fi from space, powered by rockets, lasers, and sheer nerdy ambition. It's high-speed internet brought to you by a constellation of space frisbees, a CEO with a Mars obsession, and the collective dream of watching TikToks in the middle of nowhere. Whether you're a tech wizard or just tired of buffering while watching your favorite cooking tutorials, at least now you can say, "Hey, I get it. Kind of." If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.